London, May 19, 1536. The sky was grey over the Tower of London. In the courtyard, a pale wooden platform had been built overnight. This wasn't a typical execution stage. It was lower, designed for a foreign swordsman and his sharp blade, not the usual English axe. A crowd gathered, murmuring, "Today a queen dies, the first in England's history." Anne Boleyn, the woman who reshaped England by pushing King Henry VIII to break from the Catholic Church, would meet her fate that morning. For 17 days, she'd been held in a small room inside the tower. Now, 35, she still carried herself with the grace that once charmed the king. Her loyal maids helped her dress in a dark grey cloak lined with fur and a deep red underdress, colours chosen to hide bloodstains, both practical and dignified. "They say the executioner is skilled," Anne remarked calmly, touching her throat. "I have a small neck." Her words, later recorded, showed both bravery and bitter humour. How did Anne reach this end? Born to Thomas Boleyn, a driven diplomat, and Elizabeth Howard of noble birth, Anne spent her youth in France, absorbing its culture. Returning to England in 1522, she stood out not for classic beauty. Her olive skin and dark hair defied the era's preference for pale blonde women, but for her wit, charm, and education. When King Henry VIII, desperate for a male heir, pursued her, Anne refused to be his mistress. "If you want me," she reportedly said, "give me a crown." For 7 years, 1526–1533, Henry's obsession led him to split from the Catholic Church, declare himself head of a new Church of England, and marry Anne. Their secret wedding came in January 1533, when Anne was already pregnant. But their child was a girl, Elizabeth, future Queen Elizabeth I. Anne's 3-year reign saw her champion religious reforms and education, yet after 2 miscarriages, including a son, Henry turned cold. His advisor, Thomas Cromwell, fueled rumours of Anne's adultery, even accusing her of affairs with 5 men, including her brother. At her unfair trial, May 15, 1536, Anne defended herself eloquently, but the verdict was fixed: guilty. Sentenced first to burning, Henry changed it to beheading, importing a French swordsman for a quicker death. May 19, 1536, the final hours. At 8 a.m., Anne learned her execution was delayed until noon, a cruel twist. She prayed, took communion, and swore, "I never betrayed the king." At noon, she gave her maids prayer books and trinkets saying, "Remember me." On the scaffold, she addressed the hushed crowd, "I die lawfully. I accuse no one. May God save the king, a gentle and merciful prince." Her words shielded her daughter's future and the monarchy's dignity. Blindfolded and kneeling, Anne prayed until the executioner distracted her. "Where's my sword?" Then struck. The crowd gasped as her head fell. Cannons boomed, signaling Henry, who married Jane Seymour the next day. Anne's body was placed in an arrow chest and buried anonymously in the Tower Chapel. Henry erased her from records and art, but her legacy survived. The irony of history. In 1558, Anne's daughter Elizabeth became queen, ruling 45 years in a golden age. Elizabeth, shaped by her mother's fate, never married, calling herself married to England. In 1876, workers found bones likely belonging to Anne. Today, a glass memorial at the Tower marks her death site, where roses are laid each year. Anne, once vilified, is now a symbol of resilience, a mother whose sacrifice paved the way for her daughter's triumph.